Over. Oh, I'm so dead. A shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Can I run, please? Please let me run. Please let me fucking run. I stepped towards the bristly trees and tried to claim my find. It didn't budge. I pulled harder. The branch cracked and the mitten tore off, landing in my hand with a squish sound. All too heavy, wet. I squeezed it without thinking and something dark spilled from it, forming a tiny ring? What? Between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Oh, it's blood. Oh, it's blood. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. Sound of crackling branches invaded the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts flew through my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of the reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. Do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in freezing air. They sensed my fear. With giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. Okay, that is just Godzilla at that point. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run, don't look back. It felt like I was inside a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from the mushy trap just to be caught in a new one. Even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after realizing this wasn't snow. Someone or something in the snow pile was clutching my pants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my leg was gone. My boot slipped out of the hole and my soles were on a hard surface again. I reached a clear path with one jump and from there ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. That house was my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and the creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks. As if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I hadn't noticed these marks when I was leaving. The heartbeat in my ears was much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and Mum had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled on the doorknob and it obediently gave away. Oh, survived. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mum peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to, Mum. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone, and the breath was too. There was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from Mum, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring. And with it, the last bit of strength I have left in my body too. My legs gave away. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mum's expression had changed immediately. Oh wow, she is capable of experiencing worry. Alright. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mum looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants, plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you too? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and wanted her to cuddle me. But Mum regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel, her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? There was someone chasing me. I thought... I stuttered as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled up in my eyes. Mum leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a beast searching for the smell of tobacco. Then she squinted her eyes in suspicion and looked into the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant and she covered her mouth with her hand. Look, over there, at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door just like in my nightmare. Mum beckoned me with her finger and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window facing my fear. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in snow through the icy winter patterns on the glass. Those looked like dogs, not wolves. Dogs. Just a small pack of strays with no name and owner, barely reminding of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest. Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton. They were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they're rabid? The smile had slowly disappeared from Mum's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them. What if they attack Olia? Mum? I wish your dad could just shoot them all. Mum, look, they're alive. Huh? What? They your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore. Oh, he's trying to make a point that they're alive so he can't just shoot them. Got it. Mum sighed in annoyance. I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course! A dark and sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squish sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my trump card as a detective. I hurried to present this clue to my mum. Mum, look, this is Volva's mitten. That boy the police were asking about in the morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on a tree. I can show where. Let's call the police right away, like the officer had told us to. Mum, look. Ew, what the fuck? A shadow of doubt slowly crept onto Mum's contorted face. As if she was trying to remember something distant, like someone tries to remember their dream, but the images slip away. Stop at this moment. Olia will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time. Can you joke around like this? At that moment I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow? What happened to the blood? There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment. Come here, my boy who cried wolf. Why does that sound like someone loading a gun? Oh, don't just stand there. Come take your pills. Oh. Oh. Does Tony see things? So he takes pills? A golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell onto my palm. I already took one during breakfast. Don't talk me over. I told you to stay home, and you... Dad would have given you a good whipping for that. Come on, take it, or you won't be able to sleep at night, and you have school tomorrow. So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Volva's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten at all. Just like the forest monsters, and Olia's owl. Am I going mad? What the fuck? What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawny indifference along with it. Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. That's a quick-acting pill. Take off your coat. Are you asleep? No, Mom, I was just thinking. What about, I wonder? It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes. as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that came from the forest. Is everything alright? You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm alright, Mum. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. The sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt different, dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva inside my mouth had a different taste. A melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Ollie was done watching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to other tapes. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. Then I went upstairs. Jafar's and Iago's voices died down. I walked past Ola's bedroom and slipped into my own. There's a pair of legs there. You dudes can't see it because my webcam is now above that. But there is someone behind my curtain. One of the drawers was empty. I hid the policeman's phone number along with the mitten there. Okay, got another achievement. This simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed there was someone behind the curtains. My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort. As if the wind was blowing the walls out like a pair of sails, the room's corners bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was stuck to my hidden visitor, just like a savant of sorts. Olia? Who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked up my dried up lips. Yeah, Olia, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached towards the curtains. Badum, badum, beat my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second, I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, knowing full well they were looking back at me. They're looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. Plastic rings rustled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. Oh, fucking God. Gotcha! I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Olia's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. Ugh. But I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a child woven from light. Oh. I saw everything. Oh, really? What did you hide? She was just like my mom when she was little, before she put on her sad mask of tiredness and switched to her commanding tone of voice. It's nothing, just... Olia ran up to the table, her eyes round, and asked, You stole something and hid it there? Are you a thief? What? Don't be stupid. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to mind, that mitten hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind black trees. Olia could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted. Then show me. Swear that you won't tell anyone, then I'll show you. Olia swore, a plotting smile. Yeah, definitely a plotting smile. I swear on Mom's heart. A note she heard in one of the movies about the pioneers we've watched. Don't say things like that. Olia nodded and made a gesture with her hand, locking her mouth with an imaginary key. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Olia leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter. Is this someone's mitten? She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it, and God lost himself. Now you do understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander into the forest, right? It must be really cold out there. Will they find him? They will. The police are going house to house showing his photo to everybody. Olia traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window. Why are they going to houses and not the forest? Are they scared? That question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded mind. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness called and whispers of icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later for me? I changed the topic. As if trying to get Olia as far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy by myself. A lot of stuff like in Field of Wonders. Sounds cool, right? Olia wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her. What if the owl got him? Nonsense, and I won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's... how should I put it? It's cursed or something. It's like in a fairy tale? No, not like that. More like in that spooky tape Mom and Dad are hiding from us. Olia shivered and stole a glance at the window. I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you? No, I was hurrying back home so Mom wouldn't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone. You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower, can't go anywhere. I'll die from boredom here. You're wrong. No one has ever died of boredom. And you have me in your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. You know what I would wish for on my next birthday? I'd wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we can go and play together like we used to. Ugh. That sucks, dude. Yeah. And if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could place them into a little box. Olia giggled and tugged at my sleeve. Tony, let's go watch Aladdin. Fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired. I don't want to. Come on. So boring alone and Mom is always busy. We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before. I know all of our tapes by heart at this point. Not all. Oh, no, that was me. I know all of our tapes by heart at this point. My bad. Not all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? And so much happens after that. Let's go, let's go. Maybe a bit later. Did I tell you how it ends? Let's leave that for tomorrow. Won't tell you tomorrow. I know, let's play hide and seek. No, Olia. Then draw me a dino. Olia, please. Draw it, draw it. Will you leave me alone already? I blurted it out without thinking, and then I was immediately taken back. I'd never screamed at my little sister like that. Olia stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Olia from crying. Alright, you win. Let's go watch cartoons for a bit. I don't wanna. I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Go watch Peter Pan. Whoa! You fall asleep again. I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full Triceratops later. Hooray! Triceratops. Well, close enough. Olia rubbed her eyes with the sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face. I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape. The bread is fresh, just how you like it. Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk. Or you'll be yelled at again. Wanna bet I won't spill it? The tape is somewhere in the nightstand, look for it. Olia disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. Alright, let's find the monster here. I don't actually see one. Oh baby, I hear things. Alright, let me check the window first. Scary window where all you see is that accursed owl every night, lurking in the dark. Ola keeps curtains open during the day, but as soon as the twilight comes, she shuts them tight so she wouldn't see the pair of hungry eyes outside. Wait, she said nightstand. I don't see a nightstand. The old photon TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. The tube warmed up and familiar white noise started dancing on the black screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It was a dark taiga forest just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. A few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV station only really showed Soviet cartoons, and even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. So awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna. What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Ola had asked me to find the tape. It would be nice to disappoint her, but in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Oh hey, would you look at that? I'm wearing a different t-shirt and it seems like some time has passed, and if you're thinking that, you're definitely correct. Also, my webcam is in another different position. 3 placements in one video. How professional can I get? You know what? I think that our boy Anton has had enough run-ins with demons, so let's watch some cartoons, shall we? I'm gonna go with search. Alright, let's see what we got. Oh, look at that, there's no VHS demons in there. I sifted through the shelves full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. Aww. I found the tape I needed thanks to its shabby spine. What? I got the black rectangle from its box. Okay, and I got an achievement called Neverland. Okay. The tape inside it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. This rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Images swirled in my head, me and Olia flying above the forest, stumbling in the soft clouds. My little sister is laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing second. I noticed that the clouds underneath us part, barring the bristly pine tops. How do I English? Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. The wings are no longer able to hold us and Olia. That reminds me of Daedalus and Icarus, actually, the story of them. You haven't started without me, have you? Oh my god, she's trapped in a pot! My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. I rubbed my eyes. No, come, sit. Mom and Dad are arguing again. They're going through rough times. Rough times are lame. I guess that's supposed to say on the screen. Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow into the dresser. Ollie was entertained by the cartoonish dog Nana. Oh, you're cute. I wonder when the demon comes out. Maybe Mom and Dad will buy us a dog too. Yeah, right. I'll have my own dog in the Neverland, and a cat, and a parrot. I want to have an entire zoo. Olia smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me. Have you lost all of your baby teeth? Obviously. I mean, I'm what, 14? Pfft. Olia frowned deep in thought. Peter Pan has baby teeth. What if they won't let you go to his land with adult teeth? We'll think of something. It's called bribes. We'll ask Dad to alter your age in the passport. Alright, bribes or straight up forgery. You know, that also works. And why would Dad forge documents? Ola took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full. What? You grow ears as big as Dumbo's. Ola got worried and touched her ear. I smiled to myself. Oh, she's so precious. So precious and innocent. I'm hearing Russian. Is the army approaching? My little sister was silent now. She just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. What was that transmission then? As if she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. To be honest, I also imagined myself there. Why is it going dark? In a land where one never ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality. Snap, there goes gravity. Oh god. Tony, shut the curtains fast. Why? No one's watching you. It's dark, and when it's dark, the owl comes. I'm scared. Got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. Oh, there's gonna be some garbage there. You know it. Close them. I did my best not to look outside toward the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches scraping the snow. Tony, Mom thinks I made the owl up. What I want to know is how is that cartoon still showing the same 3 images and going? And that, too, thinks I'm a liar since I'm small. But the owl exists. Honestly, it does. You believe me, right? That it comes every night and... I swiftly grabbed Ola's hand and looked her in the eyes. I was trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens. And don't look out the window. What do you want me to look? Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and never existed, like it's made up, just like Mom and Dad say. It'll get tired of waiting and fly away. I don't like this, I do not. It was madness, but after everything that's happened recently, I was more and more inclined to believe all this how existed. ... It's time for the demons? We followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain... Is that supposed to be a cartoon? I don't get it. That is terrifying. Because it's only there every once in a while. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my little sister. Olia's eyelids had dropped. She started snorting lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left Olia's room. I was looking out the window, studying the field, when Mum peeked into my room. That's not peeking, that's just breaking and entering. Enough playing around. Your first day at school tomorrow. Go to bed. You should sleep properly. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right? Thanks, Mom. Really feel that warm love, bro. Don't think that everything is so simple. I mean, I'm an adult and I don't think that at all. Everything's fucking complicated. As if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. I covered myself with a blanket up to my neck and listened to the house humming, to something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just a part of growing up and I can't fully understand my own desires. The forest wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. Oh! That it? Thank you for completing episode 1 of Tiny Bunny. Did you enjoy it? Do you want to know what happens next? We're already working hard on the continuation of the story. Alright, dope, dude. I mean, I definitely understand why that would be the ending portion, because, like, we went to bed and tomorrow's the first day of school. That's a perfect point to end it. But yeah, alright. Now, see, because this game was recommended to me, I think there are multiple endings to episode 1, because the person that recommended it to me, Perry, she said she completed it in half an hour. And it took me an hour and a half to complete it. So, I don't know, it's really interesting. I think I'll definitely be following the development of this. And do play more when the other episodes come out. So, yeah, I guess that'll be that for today. And for Tiny Bunny. Thanks a lot for watching. I really do hope you dudes enjoyed. If you did, let me know down below in the comments if you want to see more of this. And hit that like button, it does help out the channel quite a bit. All the usual stuff is always down below in the description. Like that subscribe button, the bell icon, join button, Twitter, Discord, all that good stuff. And yeah, that'll be that. Thanks for watching one more time. Keep being creepy and listening to mysterious flutes in the night. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye bye.